Cool, let's just do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen.
Hello, welcome back.
Okay, we're going to have to put things on pause very quickly. Hello again, Stephen here from the more recent past. I've got some explaining to do. Basically, when Michael and I sat down to film this video back in November, I set up 2 cameras to capture as much of the room as possible, which initially I thought was a good idea. However, once the afternoon was over and I was looking through the footage, what I found was less than ideal. Camera angle 1, whilst lit properly, the camera is just capturing the backs of our heads.
Why is that going through? Christ, what am I watching?
Really interesting angle there. Yes! And on top of that, camera angle 2 was somehow worse. I used my old phone. However, I didn't realise until too late that camera angle 2 was in the firing line of camera angle 1's ring light.
Oops, took out.
Okay, so the basic premise then. Michael and I have given ourselves 3 hours to record an entire punk EP. Punk is a genre that neither of us have composed in, but when we were talking about this video long ago, we thought it would be funny to try and attempt it regardless. I've gone through the 6 combined hours of footage from both cameras, and instead of a longer form video where I leave a lot of the creative process in,
Cropping, swapping.
I've decided to cut it right down and give you a whistle-stop walkthrough of how that afternoon played out in November. Do consider subscribing, or at the very least, leaving a comment and letting us know what you think of the EP. But with all of that said, let's begin. Right, so truth be told, when Michael came over, he'd actually been giving some of the lyrics some thought for the first song. So we got some of that recorded and we paired it up with some drums.
Yes!
After that, we laid down a simple guitar riff, which we thought was pretty good. And then we realised that I'd just accidentally ripped off a Scott Pilgrim song, so I quickly rewrote it to avoid any copyright demons.
Yeah, okay, cool. Definitely.
After that, Michael worked on the second verse, and whilst he was doing that, I plugged the gaps by adding the bass. Sounded like this. Already in this process, the beauty of punk was coming through. It's so simple. All you need is some loud drums, some punchy bass, and some nasty sounding guitars and vocals, and you've got yourself a hit. It's pretty good. The first song ended up taking the theme of throwing shade at the Tory government, and given that everything that's happened over the last few weeks with the current UK government, this song has aged like a fine wine. Oh well, we cleaned up a few of the instrumental takes and added a few more vocal tracks to thicken it up a bit, and the first song was sounding pretty good. It sounded a little bit like this.
Spend your nights down the pub that you hate, with that one friend that isn't really your mate.
Cool, moving on. Right, so given the success of the first song, morale was pretty high. We decided to up the tempo even further to something stupid. I think it was like 170, and I laid down an equally stupid drum beat.
Turning, eyes always you turning.
After the drum beat was laid down, we tried getting ideas flowing, and this was the first song, I guess, that we literally had no idea what direction to take it in. Inevitably, the song topic ended up surrounding politics, society and the environment, as all punk songs do, and this one also had the addition of a very catchy hook that I'm sure listeners could learn and get behind very quickly.
You fucked it, mate. You fucked it, mate. You fucked it, mate.
In place of a guitar solo, which seems to be quite a staple in some of our songs, Michael opted to quote some lines from one of Big Boris's speeches back in the day. I cannot articulate just how satisfying it is to have this song, given everything that's been going on so far in 2022. It's honestly brilliant. You couldn't have written this.
And he was also unnecessarily rude to Miss Piggy.
Anyway, we slapped more guitar, more bass, and cleaned up the drums, and the song was basically there. We decided to add loads and loads more vocal takes to try and thicken up and create some gang vocals. Now, unfortunately, there's only 2 of us, so over the multiple takes, we decided to put on multiple voices, which is actually a legit technique to compose a pretty convincing sounding choir.
You f***ed it, mate. You f***ed it, mate. You f***ed it, mate. You f***ed it, mate.
We realised pretty early on that Michael's voice was way more suited to the lead vocals, so we very quickly adjusted any composition so that I just took the backup vocals, and honestly, I was fine with that. Right, anyway, we decided to move on. Okay. Song 3 ended up being the final song. Admittedly, trying to write any more than 3 songs in 3 hours would have been very ambitious, so I'm sort of glad that didn't happen, and instead we split up the time more evenly, so we ended up with 3 more well-rounded songs. With this song, we mercifully lowered the BPM and got to work brainstorming lyrics to describe the monotony of a young working man's life. As you do. The theme really got worked on and the song really started to fall into place after we came up with this line for the chorus.
Monday working, Tuesday working, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday working.
Instrumentally, once again, we kept it simple, with the bass and drums doing most of the work until the choruses and bridges came in. This one ended up being the most dynamic, and to be honest, I think I like this one the best. I like them all, but I think this one I've got a soft spot for. At this stage, we were getting really hungry, so perhaps a little bit overconfidently, we decided to nip out and grab some food whilst leaving the timer on. In hindsight, I have no idea why we did this, but hey ho. Luckily the lunch break didn't hinder us and we cracked straight back on once we got back.
Let's go get food.
Yeah.
I really fancy chicken, man.
Yeah.
Whilst Michael finished eating, I cleaned up some of the lyrics and instrumental lines and added some details on the guitar. The last thing to do at this point, as time ran out, was to listen through our new EP and check that we hadn't missed anything glaring. We hadn't, and at this moment...
There we go. We got it. So there we go. That concludes the 3-hour punk album challenge. We're gonna just clean up a few bits. I won't record anything new. It's just I will just work with what we've made. And the EP will be out. But I'll upload the songs separately so you can have them and listen to them. But this has been a
Yeah, and
really fun time.
remember what we said? Yeah, like if we can get 500 views and Stephen can get 300 subscribers, we will do a ska/reggae EP.
Whoa, okay. Hold up once again. These targets are old, and in fact that subscriber milestone has already been hit. Thanks again for that. I'm not so fussed about the targets anymore, but if you did enjoy and you've made it this far, consider subscribing or sharing with your friends. We're really curious to see what you think of the EP, so be sure to let us know in the comments below. But that's all from me. Take it away, you two.
But aside from that, thanks for watching. If you still are, goodbye.
Goodbye!
Done. Nice.